Starting again. Viral video number 3. Me driving. Already late for an appointment. On my... Out of breath again. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time of day it is when you're tuning into this video. Hopefully you can speak English, because that's all I can speak. I apologize to anyone speaking another language. Hopefully you can have this translated to that language. But for right now, I think we'll turn off the radio for one. Since I'm going to try to talk and try to concentrate, even though my mind's thinking only about the fact that I'm going to be late, and that's nobody's fault but mine, because that's just who I am. I want to do a million things, like record videos. No, you can't see me because it's interfering with the drive gauge, so you are not going to see me. Let me see, should I go that way or this way? I'm totally confused at this moment, because I'm trying to do a video and I'm also trying to get somewhere. My hope is that I can say something, which I haven't said a word yet. Okay, we're supposed to talk about Democrats and Republicans and blah 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 and blah blah blah, about being progressive versus being regressive, because there's only two ways to be. You can try to be conservative. The reality is you really can't hold on to anything. And it's not just about death. It's really about, even if you have something, you can't hold on to your enjoyment of that thing. All you can do is just get more afraid that you're going to lose it. This is a very important point. And I think that I have a lot to teach you. I know that most of you are probably not willing to learn. You're probably above the age of 20, and you think you've learned everything there is to know. Some of you are in specialties, and you have the fortunate, really fortunate good luck through having been born into a family with enough money to enable you to learn one little part of life. But very few of you take an interest in life as a whole. And that's unfortunate, because you need to do that. Because if you can't understand life as a whole, you're going to get most of it wrong. And you need to involve yourself in every aspect of life in order to stay alive. So, let's get back to what I started with today about being progressive versus regressive. The urge to form a more perfect union cannot be described as anything but a progressive idea. The urge to found a country based on liberty, justice, and equality. It's very important that we don't leave out equality, because a lot of people in the United States do not like equality. But these are the ideals upon which this nation was founded. That cannot be anything but a progressive idea. At the time, the majority of Americans were what was called at the time loyalists. In other words, people who affirmed and declared their loyalty to the Crown of England, to one man rule, to one person rule. That's regressive, especially in that context. In all fairness, it should be noted that there was a relative amount of freedom if you lived in England. Nothing like what how America has grown since, and even how the United Kingdom, even though it's in name a kingdom, has really become a democracy. Because they have a long way to go too, just as we have. That's the whole point. The idea of forming a more perfect union, it's not a static thing. It's an ongoing thing, a work in progress. The only true progressive is one who's constantly looking to improve. And once you achieve your goals, you always say that's not enough. And people on the Republican side have made no secret of their ambition to turn the clock back. So if you want to go back to a time that, well, I'm not going to say a time, because there have been much better times in the past in many ways than the time we're living in now. But to want to go back, can only mean to want to make things less equal, to want to preserve what inequalities exist, to want to make things even more unequal. Because that's in the economic realm, in the racial realm, in the national versus international realm. That's been the Republican agenda. And it's it's not just Donald Trump. It's all Republicans for that matter. I mean, John Kasich sounds good, but he wants to build that wall. He's looking for a VP nomination, so don't be fooled by him. It sounds wonderful when you put him up against all of those other monsters. We should have civility. Yeah. Then you have the Democratic side, where civility is the norm, where people think, where people just don't want pat, easy answers. And that's another point that I'm going to bring up over and over again in my videos. Easy answers are very dangerous. Think about it. We live in a vast universe. Even if you're a Christian, you should really be contemplating the understanding that Christians have, that's in the Bible, that we as human beings can know very little. So how presumptuous can we get to think we know it all? And yet, people who profess to be Christians are some of the most arrogant people. And now, I'm going to be the first to say, I know a lot of arrogant atheists. So arrogance really has nothing to do with exactly what you believe in. What it really has to do with is how much you're willing to open your mind and your heart to the truth that's really out there, that you don't yet know. And that goes for all of us. Even the smartest person in the world knows that what he knows is like a tiny nothing compared to what there is to know. Okay? And that is what makes for a progressive and an open mind. The willingness to be willing to change, to be constantly changing, constantly evolving into a better person, into a better social structure. That's what the Democratic Party represents to me. Now, I know there's a lot of you on the left who are going to say that the Democrats are just as corrupt as the Republicans. And I'm not going to deny that in order to keep and to acquire any degree of power, we've had to be corrupt. I go to work at a job and work for a company that's publicly traded on Wall Street. Does that make me an accomplice? Well, in one sense it does. I'm trying to put food on my table. People who are Democrats, who hold office, are doing so because they found practical ways to get through a system that's rigged in favor of money and prevent the much worse alternative. So rather than knock on these people, I think you should be grateful that they prevented our country from being a lot worse than it is. That despite having so much opposition in Congress, President Obama was able to accomplish so much. He saved our country from a depression. He expanded the number of people that were able to get health care. And, yes, he did this when he had a Democratic Congress. Wouldn't have been able to do it in the last 6 years of his presidency. And the Republicans then proceeded to be very belligerent and block everything. And guess who got the blame? Oh, hi there. Barack Obama. I think I'm upside down in the video. I don't know what I am, but I gotta sign off now. I'll see you on number 4 another time. Bye-bye.